All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Nerd Takes.
Nerd Takes.
Nerd Takes.
I'm John.
I'm Justin.
This is Justin. This is our guest,
I'm Andrew.
And we are going to be trying the Jim Beam Lineage Batch 1 that is shockingly made by the Jim Beam Distillery. Some information on this. I actually grabbed this information off the box. I couldn't find anything online. So there's a story written on the box on the outside and on the inside. So I transcribed this to my iPad. This carefully crafted bourbon has been a long time in the making, over 225 years. In fact, that's how long the Beam family has been perfecting the craft of distillation, passing down their knowledge from generation to generation. This limited release, created by master distiller Fred No with his son Freddie No, continues this tradition. Together, Fred and Freddie hand-selected this 15-year-old bourbon with its aromatic yet balanced flavor. This rare whiskey marks the peak of one generation's achievements and the next generation's coming of age.
This is all in this box.
This is all in that box. And then it goes on a little bit, talks about them choosing it, the bourbon for its mellow expressions of caramel and vanilla with just a whisper of oak, the resulting resting of 15 years on the second floor of Rack House K. So that's where it was.
Can I just say, if you look at the side of the box, this is, I'm just kind of...
The back?
Oh, the side, it
The
says...
side?
Kentucky straight bourbon, whiskey carefully crafted by father and son. Like, this is a pretty impressive freaking...
It is signed by Fred No himself.
Hell yeah.
So, it is 15 years old. It is 111 proof. That is actually a 700 milliliter bottle, not a 750. So it's a little bit.
The Angel took their share early.
Yeah.
Or late.
Proof is 111. Mash bill is 77% corn, 13% rye, 10% malted barley, and the MSRP is $250.
All right, so what are we doing here?
So now I've got some notes. I couldn't find any notes again on Jim Beam website, but I found some on another website that tried this and rated it just like we're about to do. So I'll hold those. So now we'll just go around and we'll just do nose, palate, finish, and then maybe touch on these a little bit to see if we got any of these from I got this from the whiskey jug, and then we'll rate it.
Yeah, so you mentioned like how much this thing might cost, but you can this is sometimes available actually at Jim Beam. I've seen this on the shelves there.
Yeah, the last time you went, last year?
Yeah, last November.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it was on every shelf, but it was
out.
They were a good amount, and I could have definitely got one, but it's
a steep price.
Yeah, I'm kind of a cheap ass. So I was like, let's let John pay for it, and then I'll try it, and if I like it,
Right.
I'll buy one next time.
Exactly.
It's all worked out for everything's coming up, Justin. All right, so I've got some initial thoughts on the nose. This does not taste like a typical Jim Beam product.
No.
With Jim Beam, I think you're getting a lot more. I don't know how you would classify it, but I don't know, nuttiness, oakiness.
It's definitely a lot of oak, but I mean, again, it's old, so you're gonna get that.
So I assume I'm gonna get a little bit of that. I get a lot of cherry. Cherry is like the number one fruit coming through for me. Maybe even we could even maybe say like I don't even know, like raisins.
I got some chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I got that from, but admittedly, my sniffer hasn't been awesome lately, so I could be misidentifying something. I got a ton of alcohol, which at the proof makes sense.
And we just opened it,
right?
So this has not breathed at all.
Yeah,
man, I didn't get that much alcohol at all.
I didn't either.
I was going to say I'm actually getting very little ethanol. I'm getting that sweetness, which is maybe that chocolate or the vanilla, but I think it's got a lot of just like dark fruits.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about the nose?
Tell us.
So according to the whiskey jug, the color is a deep oaky brown, and the notes they had on the nose: deep, complex, sticky, dark fruit, oak, roasted nuts, cinnamon, heavy baking spice, vanilla, creamy vanilla, rich caramel, peanut brittle, and touches of citrus peels and leather. I don't get the citrus at all. The leather I can get.
No.
Yeah, I'm not getting.
I got some nutmeg.
100%.
Baking spice.
Yeah, that's those. But you nailed it with the dark fruit, with the cherry.
Yeah.
If I say it every time, eventually it's going to be right.
If you keep saying orange peels, eventually it's going to be orange.
I didn't even say orange peels this time,
but you could have.
I know, blew it. Okay, well, I have given this a taste, and I got to say, it is a delight.
Mm-hmm.
It has a very nice mouthfeel. Honestly, I don't think I've had a bourbon like this in a while. It really like coats your mouth.
Mm-hmm. I was just saying. I was just thinking that.
Yeah, it's syrupy. It's thick.
Yeah.
Like in a good way. It's got a crazy like, just not intense hot or heatness. Heat, hotness. Yeah. But man, it is deep and it is just
It sticks around.
sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The finish is super long. I mean, I know we're not talking about the finish right now, but
No, we can talk about
it
it.
is.
That's fine.
It is very long, and not in an unpleasant way. I mean, it just
Right.
it sticks with you.
Yeah. You can just stay in there, and every time you swallow, you just get a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a little bit of your water and put a little
All right. A little dab.
dab in there.
A little capful.
So
See
open
what
it up
that
a little
does.
bit.
So you want to talk about the palate, or what?
Well, give me one more second.
Well, hold on.
What
Let's see what we got.
what the whiskey jug got?
So for the palate, I'm getting. I feel like it's got a real good like maple syrup.
Yeah.
Taste to it.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
I'm not. I don't even. Yeah, I don't want to even say caramel. Like it is more vanilla-y
Right.
than anything. Like I almost taste like waffles. No, not quite as
So
French
you
toasty.
definitely get like the not biscuit, but
custard?
there's a
No.
bread. Not yeah, you're on the right track. French toast maybe might be closer than waffles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, like I know it's got some baking spice or allspice in there, but it's not
No, and
super
it's-
spicy.
And it's got the oak from the nose, but again,
Yeah.
it's not that is not overpowering.
Yeah.
You get a lot of the which is interesting because you get a lot more sweetness on the palate than you would from the based on the nose. You wouldn't think it was going to be as like creamy almost, but it really was.
No, not at all. And maybe cinnamon
is.
is what I'm getting, as opposed to all the baking spices.
Well, it's technically a baking spice, so I mean that counts.
Okay, all right. Just say baking spices.
It just take,
Covers every spice.
it just covers everything.
All right, what are we supposed to get?
So we got the same heavy, sticky dark fruit character with even more oak battling for dominance, which I didn't necessarily get. Roasted peanut brittle, cinnamon heavy baking spice, hazelnuts, leather, vanilla custard, pepper, some citrus peel, anise, and a warm herbal undertone. I didn't get the herbalness at all.
I didn't
No.
get the anise
Or
either.
the anise. Yeah,
No.
and that's a pretty distinct flavor
Yeah.
note.
Yeah,
I didn't
but
get
that
it
pudding
all.
though. I mean, that was
Yeah.
pudding,
Yeah.
custard,
Yeah,
It was that
yeah, you were close.
custard.
Yeah.
vanilla for sure.
You were about to say peanut brittle, but you didn't.
I did not,
It would have been, but correct, because I mean everybody's
according to the thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
The finish is
it's
great.
still going.
It's still pretty amazing. It's not so much in the front of the mouth. It's definitely like a deeper feeling, roof of the mouth a little bit more. Not even like down the throat, just like in the back of the mouth, basically, is where it's sticking around.
Yep, for sure.
That's good. That's I
And
would.
the finish is it says long. Duh. Oak and dark fruit fade out to baking spices, nuts, and leather.
Okay. I don't know what leather tastes like. We get that sometimes with like definitely things.
It's
that are,
hard to pinpoint,
but
but
the
like
things that have been in the barrel for much longer, like anything that's 10 or 12 or longer, they usually say leather.
right, and that's it. Just
Right.
it's like that oak and leather is just kind of like whatever.
Right.
It's going to be the same thing. It just depends, as far as I'm concerned.
What you want to rating?
Yeah, let's rate it.
Rating time.
Rating time.
I'll go first this
Go on,
time.
you go first.
This is pretty fantastic. I think I'm gonna go with a. I'm between an 8 and a 9. I'm actually leaning more. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna say red 5, Luke. This is a solid 9. This is very, very good.
So we're waffling between New Hope Luke and you went.
I was
red.
thinking New Hope, Luke, but you know what? I got to give it its due. I think that this makes it up to a 9.
Yep.
Yeah.
Andrew,
I'm gonna go New Hope Luke.
Eight.
Very good.
solid 8.5.
Solid. Yeah. Solid 8. Yeah. Very good. Would drink again.
I hope so.
Probably will at some point in time. I'm going to echo you, and I'm going to go red 5 Luke as well. I'm going to give it a 9. This is
man, it's good,
this is
man.
pretty good, and we are partial to Jim Beam products, so that's probably part of it. But
It's
Oh,
not
man.
often I would say, and I'm still not going to say it's worth $250. But if it's fucking good. If you're with friends and you all want to pool your money to get a bottle to share, like do it. It's
Right.
It's solid, man.
It's very good.
I would
Very good.
Would recommend.
Head down to Louisville. Go to the distillery.
See you
and
there.
It might be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a good one.
Can't wait to the next one.
Yeah. Nerd takes.
Nerd Takes.
Nerd takes.
Bye.